Hello and happy Earth Day 2021 to everyone. In this video today we are going to be introducing the ReGen-X quantum motor, which is here, and the ReGen-X generator, which is also here. And the ReGen-X quantum motor is unique in that it has the ability to perform positive work, increase the kinetic energy of the system, this drive motor and this motor. The ReGen-X quantum motor is unique in that it has the ability to perform positive work, increase the kinetic energy of the system without requiring any input electrical power. So every motor on the planet Earth today, every electric motor, since the first electric motor invented by Michael Faraday in 1820, requires electric input power in order to produce mechanical output power. The ReGen-X quantum motor that we're going to demonstrate in this video requires zero externally supplied electric input power in order for it to output mechanical output power. So we're going to demonstrate the ReGen-X quantum motor, then we're going to demonstrate the ReGen-X generator, which also performs positive work, increasing the kinetic energy of the system without any externally supplied electric power, and while simultaneously generating electricity. So we're going to do the ReGen-X quantum motor, the ReGen-X generator, and then we will allow the ReGen-X generator to operate as a conventional generator. And we will do that by reducing the frequency of operation of the ReGen-X coils. So a little bit of background. Basically, what we're doing is we are harnessing electromagnetic field energy, which is created at the subatomic electron level. We're harnessing that energy in our quantum motor and our generator, and we're using that energy to perform positive work. So basically, right now, if this was just a wire, what we have in this wire at the subatomic level is we have electrons which are rotating. They're rotating and spinning around the nucleus of the atom. And when they rotate and spin around the nucleus of the atom that makes up the copper wire, they are producing or creating electromagnetic field energy. Now, when a voltage is applied to this wire, for example, those electrons begin to migrate down the wire. And when they do, the magnetic field energy that is created around the electron when it's spinning and rotating around the nucleus of the atom, it becomes externalized around the wire. And when that happens, that electromagnetic field energy, which again is created at the subatomic level, that energy performs negative work. And negative work negative work produces kinetic energy reduction. Negative work is referred to these days as electric vehicle regenerative braking. Electric vehicle regenerative braking is negative work that's performed by electromagnetic field energy, which is created at the subatomic electron level. So LENZ'S law is a law of physics which explains how the magnetic field energy that's created around a generator coil, how it performs negative work. And basically what you have is, when you have a rotor magnet that is approaching the coil produces a North Pole electromagnetic field, or a North Pole electromagnetic field energy, which resists the magnet's approach. When the magnet is moving away, the induced B field, the induced electromagnetic field energy, is now a south pole, and the south pole, the electromagnetic field energy, performs negative work on the North Pole magnet that is now moving away. So on approach and on departure from the coil, the electromagnetic field energy that's created around the coil, and I'm stressing again that the energy, this electromagnetic field is a form of energy which is created because it performs negative work. Now what you're going to see with regards to the ReGen-X generator and also the ReGen-X quantum motor, our innovation, what it does is it allows the electromagnetic field energy that's created around the coil to perform positive work. So that means that when the North Pole rotor magnet is approaching the coil, the electromagnetic field energy that's created around the coil is a south pole rather than a north pole. And this electromagnetic assistance or positive work assists the rotor's approach towards the coil and accelerates its departure. The North Pole magnet, when it's moving away from the coil, the coil produces a North Pole electromagnetic field which assists the rotor magnet's departure. So in LENZ'S law, we have electromagnetic resistance, which is actually, it's not really resistance, it's electromagnetic negative motor action. And in the ReGen-X generator and the ReGen-X motor, we also have electromagnetic motor action, but it's positive work, it's electromagnetic assistance rather than resistance, and that's basically it. So what I'm going to do is bring the system up to rotational equilibrium, and then we'll engage the ReGen-X quantum motor. You're going to see the speed increase, and we'll be able to collect all of our data. When the switches are on the other side, we're in ReGen-X generator mode. You're going to see kinetic energy increase, system acceleration, while we're generating 120 watts to the battery. And what's important in generator mode is we'll be delivering 120 watts to the battery, but we will not be supplying any additional power to the prime mover when we're generating electric output power. And then we will reduce the speed and we'll perform the same generator test with the system operating below what's called the critical minimum frequency. Okay, so let's get started. System is idling. Our original drive motor is consuming about 600 watts, and our speed of our system is about 3,200 RPM. So now I'm going to engage the quantum motor. I'm going to increase the kinetic energy of the system, but I'm not going to supply any additional electric input power to the motor. Increase the speed of our system to just over 3,400 RPM, and our power consumption of our original drive motor has gone down from 600 watts to 296 watts. If this was a conventional motor, you wanted to increase the speed of the system by 400 RPM, you would have to increase the input power to the drive motor. So I'll put it back on idle once again. system speed is 3,063 RPM. The drive motor is consuming 570 watts. And the mechanical power in the drive shaft, because the system is at rotational equilibrium, the mechanical power in the drive shaft is 0 watts. So what that means is the system is not able to acquire an increase in angular momentum or an increase in kinetic energy without increasing the input power consumption to the prime mover. So this number here, the 568 watts, represents the power consumption by our green induction motor. So now I'm going to increase the speed again. So we're up to 3,422 RPM, and the consumption of our drive motor is 293 watts. The ReGen-X quantum motor and induction motor are now both providing torque in the same direction. And the ReGen-X induction motor is assisting, the ReGen-X quantum motor is assisting the induction motor, but the ReGen-X quantum motor is not receiving electric input power. And now I'm going to do the ReGen-X generator. 3,097 RPM on load. Operate the generator as a conventional generator. So the ReGenX generator, when it is operating below the critical minimum frequency, it operates like a normal generator, and it produces a counter electromagnetic torque with electromagnetic field energy that's created at the subatomic level. And the electromagnetic field energy performs negative work, and when operating as a conventional generator, it stalls the system. The ReGenX quantum motor, on the other hand, performs positive work with created electromagnetic field energy, and it accelerates the system without requiring external electric input power. The ReGenX generator also performs positive work and it also accelerates the system while generating electric output power. So the ReGenX generator, when it is placed in an automobile, provides the automobile with regenerative acceleration. The ReGenX quantum motor, when it's placed in an automobile, also provides vehicle acceleration, but it doesn't require any power to be supplied by the batteries. When the ReGenX generator is in an EV and when it's operated below the critical minimum frequency of operation for the coil, the ReGenX generator performs negative work and reduces the kinetic energy of the EV. So we are using electromagnetic field energy that is created at the subatomic level, and we're using that energy in the ReGenX quantum motor to perform positive work, in the ReGenX generator to perform positive work, and for the past 200 years that same energy has been used in conventional generators in order to perform negative work. So this is the work energy principle. And the work energy principle says that work is required in order to change the kinetic energy of an object or system. So that means increasing the kinetic energy and reducing the kinetic energy of a system. Energy is the currency required to perform positive and negative work. Electric generators do not perform negative work without energy. So where does the energy come from? Well, the energy that performs the negative work in all electric generators is the same energy that performs the positive work in the ReGen-X quantum motor and the ReGen-X generator. And this energy, again, it's created at the subatomic electron level. And to finish up with the work energy principle, if the work that is performed is positive, the kinetic energy of the system increases. If the work is negative, the kinetic energy of the system decreases. So we saw positive work being performed by the ReGen-X quantum motor and the ReGen-X generator. And then we saw negative work being performed by the ReGen-X generator that was operating below the critical minimum frequency of operation for the coil. And both sources of energy are exactly the same. And this energy, again, is created at the subatomic electron level, and it's externalized around a current-bearing wire when current flows in that wire. So for the past 200 years, the created electromagnetic field energy has been performing negative work, and from now until the rest of eternity, that same energy can now be used to perform positive work. In the ReGen-X quantum motor that does not require externally supplied electric input power, and the